Before you judge porn, ask yourself one honest question. If nobody ever found out, would you still call it sin? A young man sits in the dark, phone in his hand. The video ends, but the guilt doesn't. He already told himself last time would be the last time. But tonight it happened again, and now he's left with the same question. Did I just sin against God? Again? And that's where this conversation usually gets confusing. Because some people treat porn like it's just a private habit, something small, something personal. Others talk about it with nothing but condemnation, as if anyone struggling with it is already beyond hope. So people end up stuck in between, worshiping God in public and fighting something in private they don't know how to escape. But the real question is not what people say. The real question is what God actually says. And when we go to Scripture, Jesus does something very direct. He says, "You have heard it said, 'Do not commit adultery.' But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." That changes everything. Because now the issue is no longer just physical actions. It's not just about what the body does, it's about what the eyes are feeding and what the heart is becoming. Porn is not just watching, it is participating internally in something God takes seriously. But even that is not the deepest part of the problem. Because porn doesn't just happen in moments, it starts shaping something over time. It trains desire, it rewires how you see people. It turns human beings created in God's image into objects for consumption. It replaces real intimacy with fantasy. And slowly it begins to affect how you think, how you feel, even how you relate to others. So the danger is not only what you are watching, it's what repeated watching is teaching your heart to want. And once that happens, it goes deeper than just behavior. And that's why so many people feel stuck, because the cycle is real. Temptation comes, then compromise, then guilt, then silence. And instead of bringing it into the light, it gets buried. But hidden sin does not weaken, it grows. Shame convinces you to stay quiet. Secrecy gives it room to survive. And over time, what started as something you visited becomes something that controls you. Not because you love it, but because you feel like you can't escape it. But Scripture never tells believers to manage sin quietly. It speaks with urgency. Flee sexual immorality. Guard your eyes. Walk in the light. Renew your mind. In other words, don't play with what is destroying you. Because this is not something God treats casually, and it's not something you overcome by pretending it's small. Freedom begins where honesty begins. When darkness is exposed, it starts losing power. But even here, there is still a deeper question. Not just is porn a sin, but what is it revealing? What is your heart actually hungry for? Is it escape, comfort, control, validation? Because what you return to in private is often what is shaping you the most. So the real issue is not just what's on the screen, it's what is quietly ruling your heart when no one is watching. The Bible does not excuse porn, it calls it what it is, but it also does not abandon the person who is struggling. Because the same God who exposes sin is the same God who offers freedom, not through hiding, not through pretending, but through surrender, truth, and transformation. God is not asking you to clean yourself up perfectly first. He is asking you to come into the light, because what sin keeps buried, Christ is able to break.